Hello, Charlie TCG here, and welcome to another future deck profile. Let's look at Regis. Is this deck any good with the new cards out from Paldea and Evolved, or is it kind of still a bit of an under the radar pick? So right now, Regis in the top 8 in the City Leagues are doing all right. It's had a couple top 8 placements and nothing really that far. It's lost a lot of synergy like Super Scoop Up Net, as well as Quick Ball, ways to guarantee the energies in the discard pile quickly. Same thing with getting rid of Aurora energy. Still a super strong attack by having amazing attacks through the use of Regidrago and Regieleki and even Regirock now, but it isn't as strong as it once was or as fast. So let's jump into the list. So here we can see it's already so different to how we're used to in the Regi sort of build. We play two of every single Regi except 3 of the Regidrago. Regigigas has an amazing ability of Ancient Wisdom where if you have every Regi out in play, you can attach 3 energies from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon. Very, very powerful. Although you can't get out the energies as quickly as possible and you can't reuse that because of a Scoop Up Net is gone, it's still very, very strong. And all the Regis here have merit, except Registeel, because it may seem not as powerful as it once was due to it not have been the strong attacker, but still really, really good. But we mainly have the bad Regidrago, as you call it, the one which hits for 240 damage. You touch that Defiant Band or Choice Belt, all of a sudden you're doing 270 damage, which is really, really nice. You team up with Terra Spark in the Regieleki, you can get to big one-hit KOs on most of the board. So yeah, Regis is really, really powerful. Regirock is really good, especially now with the increase in Arceus sort of variants, and more specifically Arceus Tina. Regirock is really, really good in that sort of matchup. But let's have a look in the other sort of cards. Regis, everyone kind of knows roughly what they do. Let's jump into some of the item cards. We play one copy of Picnic Basket, really good in the Lost Box matchup. Because of you're not running the other little bad Regieleki, so you can't like reuse a Picnic Basket, you've got to use this really kind of like conservatively. It's very strong. It's even against Gardevoir to get some healing damage in a way, but mainly against your Lost Box of matchup. So Sableye can't get these big 1 to 2 to maybe even 3 prize knockouts. Lost Vacuum, very, very powerful as your one of like sort of a disruptor to get rid of any of the stadium cards which may be in play. We do play a couple of switch cards because they're all very, very high retreat Pokemon. 1 copy of switch card and 2 copy of Escape Rope. Energy Search is super, super valuable right now. We're playing a lot more basic energies, so Energy Search guarantees us to get that energy, which can be easily discarded for use of Serena, Research, or maybe even Ultra Ball. 3 copies of Pokegear. They play a high count on Pokegear because you want to try and get the energies in the discard pile as quickly as possible and flood your board with the Regielekis. Not Regielekis, all the Regis and valuable. So trying to find a way to quickly get your Serenas and Research is really, really good. Now we have Super Rods come back. So instead of utilizing ordinary rods, we can now use Super Rods. So having a higher count of Super Rod is really, really good to be reusing your Pokemon as quickly as possible and not relying on a supporter to take your turn. We do play a couple Search Ball for items. 1 copy of Heavy Ball. Heavy Ball is incredibly popular and really, really valuable in this style of list. You don't want to have maybe 2 Regice prize, and Heavy Ball guarantees you get that Regice back. 2 copies of Nest Ball and 4 copies of Ultra Ball. Nest Ball, we don't need to play too high because we played the Stadium, which allows us to get any basic Pokemon. And 4 copies of Ultra Ball, one of the best search cards to ever be printed, and a way to get those energies in the discard pile. Supported, we do play 1 copy of Penny. Penny has that actual reusable ability, so you can reuse the Regigigas or potentially pick up a Pokemon which is highly damaged, which is really good. Only 1 copy of Iona, because we want to focus more on the discard effects. Disrupting the opponent really becomes bit of like a second nature. You don't want to try and get that disruptive. If I would, and if Regis was actually in a really good place in the format, you could potentially increase the count of Iona, but as of right now, you can't really be as disruptive as possible. We do play a couple disruptive cards to guarantee to get the Boss out, 2 copies of Boss and 2 copies of Serena. Boss, because there are high counts of single prize and EX Pokemon around, and Serena has an added discarding effect. Like I said before, that's why we're playing the 4 copies of Research as well. You want to get out your Regis as quickly as possible and get the energies in the discard pile as quickly as possible. Play 3 copies of the Azura's Town. I love this stadium. I think it's really, really good, especially in these single prize sort of decks. The ability to pretty much on play, search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it on your bench is super, super strong. And then I play 1 copy of Pokestop. This can kind of be changed up to either if you want to have a path or potentially a collapsed stadium. Probably not really that, but Pokestop is really good. There's another way to guarantee some discarding of the energies. The item cards, the tools we do play is 1 Defiant Band and 1 Choice Belt. We are pretty much going to be behind prizes quite a bit. That's why we're opting to play 1 Defiant Band, which is if we're behind in prizes, your attacks do, I believe, 30 more damage. And Choice Belt gets that KO on the Mew VMAX, get the KO on a few of these big V Pokemons. So the energy count is very, very interesting. We play 3 copies of the Illuminous Energy, this brand new stage energy card, which is a special energy, which can be any energy at once when it's attached to a Pokemon. But if there's any other special energy attached to it, it is a colorless. The idea is you team this up with the other basic energies you have in play, so you can get those 2 energies attacks on the Regidrago, Regieleki, Regis, or not Regis, sorry, or Regirock. Those are the ways for you to get these attacks going out, and even Registeel. That's why we're playing the Illuminous Energy in this deck. We play 1 copy of Double Turbo. This is the way so you can get that KO with Regigigas very, very easily. You're trying to get that big one-hit KO on Mew VMAX, and this Turbo helps you into that sort of matchup. And then we play nearly 1 of every energy, except we don't play the water, because the Pokemon, like getting the defending Pokemon, isn't as strong as it once was. I apologize if I said it was. And we play 2 copies of the lightning energies, purely because you want to be attacking with Regieleki very, very quickly, and you don't need to rely too much on the Illuminous energy. I really like this list overall. It did actually get a top 8 a couple weeks ago, so let's see what its matchups are like. Overall, I would say it's kind of a bit all right in most things. Sheehan Pal, because you can hit for weakness, you do have that 50-50. And Mew VMAX, if you get the big setup with your Gigas, you can kind of go okay. And Miraidon and Lugia, as you're hitting for weakness for those as well, that's why you're performing too well. Although going into single price decks, like for example, Lost Zone and maybe even Arctina and Gardevoir, you can really, really struggle. Because you can think about with Lost Zone decks, they are utilizing stuff like Sableye and Greninja. You're not playing any bench Dara, so those Pokemon are always going to be KO'd, and they can stack up over time, so potentially that's why you need to use Picnic Basket. Arceus Giratina, yes, you can hit for weakness, but they can really ramp up their damage very quickly. They have a lot of HP, potentially healing with Sharon's Care, and if you even team that up with a Power Pad, that might be 1, maybe even 3 Sharon's Care they might play per game. Gardevoir EX is kind of a really funny sort of ones. You're not going to hit for weakness in those sort of ones, and they can go to these huge like Zacians or Gardevoirs, and it's very, very difficult if you get those big one-hit KOs. You might have to rely on the bench, but you're not playing many sort of you're only playing 2 copies of Boss's Orders. There's no Power Pads going into the deck, so it's really difficult to reuse that gusting sort of effect. And they can use Cresselia to do that damaging on their Pokemon on your bench. Really, really kind of a scary sort of matchups, but overall it's kind of all right. It's definitely a deck which I would play if you want to have some fun. If you're a huge diehard Reggie fan, definitely pick it up and try it out. If you're brand new to the game, maybe I would stick away from playing Reggies right now. It's not as strong as it once was. It's not as powerful, and it can be a lot slower, and you can whiff a lot more by not getting the right energies in the discard pile, because you're not reliant on Aurora energy like you were in the last one. But overall, I think this is a very, very fun deck to try out. Definitely something which could see some play, as a lot of people in America love Reggies. So maybe in NAIC next month, we could see Reggies make a comeback. But anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video and this future deck profile of Reggies. Is this a deck which you want to try out? Is there any cards which you would change? Let me know in the comments down below. If you're new to the channel, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in a few days' time for another video. Bye for now.